All right, Jason, we're diving into the evolution of wireless charging technology here. So today what I want to talk about is how devices have gone from being proprietary one-to-one chargers to now more infrastructure and more common places.
Yeah, it's a really important thing from an infrastructure standpoint to have chargers everywhere. As cables are going around and going out, and all of these companies are starting to integrate wireless charging to their products. I mean, a lot of people are releasing new products in terms of just how do you get a good charging experience into infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure like desks, like centerpieces of cars, like airplane tables, like waiting in the airplane lounge. So there's a lot of places what we call infrastructure.
Yeah, that's true. And it's an interesting thing we're seeing in the market right now. A couple of years ago, when Apple released or was trying to release AirPower, we saw the industry trying to go to all these crazy coils, right?
Lots of like 27 coils inside of one transmitter?
Yeah, and the reason was because people were complaining about the user experience of wireless charging, right? So Apple went out to try to solve that problem for a lot of people, and we've seen a couple different companies trying to release products that are doing that. Unfortunately, kind of what we're seeing where the industry's going, it's not looking like people are necessarily trending towards that path.
Why not? I mean, it's pretty cool when you can put a phone down anywhere on a pad.
Yeah. There's a couple things. First and foremost, from the standards body standpoint, those kind of designs right now are being left behind from a power capability. A lot of work that's been done by a lot of the large phone companies have seemed to prove that these large charge areas tend not to be the most efficient, and they're pretty damn expensive.
Okay, so I understand expensive because instead of putting in one coil, you might be putting in 15 or 25 or 30 coils. But talk to me about power levels. Why are they lower power levels?
So when it comes down to user experience and other things of your cell phone charger properly, having proper coupling, have a proper alignment ensures that your phone doesn't get too hot. You always get a guaranteed experience. With a lot of these large charge area coils, yes, they're solving the freedom of placement issue, but they're inherently a lot more inefficient than, let's say, a one-to-one mating. And in general, what the market seems to be saying is that people are preferring that kind of mating to ensure they have fast charging and consistent charging, as opposed to something that doesn't charge as fast and you just place it down.
And when you say that kind of mating, I think you're talking about magnetic mating, which is part of the Qi2 protocol.
That's correct.
So can you describe how that works?
Yeah, so the Qi2 protocol essentially, specifically Qi2 MPP, essentially is a protocol that uses magnets to help foster correct alignment on the back of the phone. That always guarantees that you're placing the charger in the right location. There's a nice tactile feel to it, and you're always guaranteeing performance to the end user.
Yeah, I think it's especially cool inside of a vehicle, for example, where you can mount your phone. I think it'll be cool in other applications like aerospace, where you know that your phone's going to stay in place. It's not going to slide off the tray.
I mean, if you think about a car being able to place something into traditional chargers basically had you placing it into a dock to make sure that it wouldn't become a projectile. With MPP now, I think it's a unique use case where you're allowed to actually, with retention force, place it in places where it's actually useful to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do know that the Qi2 standard is really taking hold. It's in the Apple phones. It's really going to become the prominent standard. So I think the magnetic placement is going to be big. But overall, I'm for whatever consumers want. If they want countertops with a multi-coil array, that's cool too, even if it's lower powered. But I just think it's cool to see all these different applications coming into the market and coming into everyday infrastructure.
I agree with that. In the end, it's the market is becoming more mature. There's more options that are coming out, and people are getting to decide which path they want to go. And we'll see which solutions end up being the right ones.
All right, it's a bright future. Thanks, Jason.